happening to me early in the morning. What are you trying to? A point you trying to? You telling me about the thing if I misuse a subpoena? Is that what it is?
Yes,
I'm
if you
trying to.
misuse a subpoena. Do you know what that means?
Do you know what it means when you violate somebody's privacy and put their personal information where somebody can go and harm them?
Okay, if someone has threatened you, that's their issue. You've sent me what is a
their issue.
you appear to have sent me a forged subpoena.
For them to do that. You've provided an avenue for them to do that.
You appear to have sent me a forged subpoena.
No. Let me tell you something. This is in the current early stages of being set up.
Right. So you don't have a valid subpoena. You forged a subpoena.
No. I did not forge a subpoena.
I believe that you forged a subpoena because you don't have a valid legal subpoena.
Let me tell you what I have done. I have contacted the Israeli consulate and told him that you've got people on your website claiming that they're Mossad hunting innocent women down for them. I've also sent another letter to the same judge who's got that lawsuit in front of him, who's actually in the situation of arbitration, contacting all these people that your fellow friends is keeping you alive, keeps trying to keep me from having a job, me from making money, sends people to my house. Are you serious?
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what Mossad has to do with anything.
Fine me $300 because I sent out a subpoena with a valid lawsuit that's in front of a judge's desk right now. He hasn't issued a thing. You know why? Because it's a possible criminal situation.
If you want to have a subpoena, there's a time and place for that. You cannot issue a subpoena by yourself.
There will be a time. You know what? There will be another subpoena sent out for you to be deposed.
Okay.
That's the situation now. I was just going to have you disclose documents about my personal safety attributed to that thread from other people to see if the men who've been threatening me are the actual men in discovery. But now, since you think this is all a joke, I'll just have you deposed, and then your little fake name won't matter anymore. You'll have to disclose your real name.
Why did you forge a subpoena?
You really will be involved. You don't. Are you not getting this?
I see a subpoena that appears to be sent illegally without the permission of the court.
You have a website who has people saying the Mossad's going to try to come into this country and kill them. You have violated so many international laws that I don't know why you're even alive. Honestly, God. Honest to God. And let me guess. You've probably helped a few people, in the law enforcement quietly. Is that what you've done?
I don't think anyone in law enforcement likes me.
Are you somebody that can actually quietly go find crazy people that might do stuff, or do you just talk people into going and committing shootouts and crimes so you can download and archive all the good little footage you get of people being butchered?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So you don't archive the New Zealand shooter that went into the mosque and shot everybody.
We did do that, yes.
Video. Oh, that is must-see TV, isn't it?
It was a historically significant video, yes.
Sure. I would love to be that kind of person to be found out later that I archived all kinds of shooters' information, photos, videos of people being butchered, because that's not going to make me look like I'm partially involved in it, would it? No. Yeah, you know what? This is what will happen. I'll just have you deposed. And, you can come and show up here in Georgia. We can get this figured out. If there's some unknown people posing as these men trying to threaten me, we'll figure that out. If it's actually these men that's actually doing this, we'll figure it out, and then I'll have them press charges. That's what's going to happen.
Okay, well, just so you know,
can't do this.
You should not be forging legal subpoenas.
Do you have a problem with the subpoena I sent you to get that evidence?
I have an issue with the subpoena because it's fake, and you forged a legal document.
You can tell the judge to charge me $300, okay?
Well, I will definitely forward this to the judge of your case because it appears you forged a legal document.
You do know about the judge of the case?
It's in the fake subpoena you
Yes.
sent me. It names the
Yes.
judge and it names how to
You
contact
also want
him.
to know what's in that lawsuit that I sent him?
Sure.
This
Yeah.
is
Go ahead.
Kiwi Farms.
Okay.
I have your website in there. I've let them know that all these threats come from that thread that you have. I've also let them know that I've, in a nice way, without drama, asked you to delete that thread, and
Okay.
that you've refused.
Yes. Probably. I don't
Okay,
know.
so
I don't
this
know
is
you
the
specifically, but
situation.
probably yes. That's fair to say.
This situation. You don't know me specifically, but you know my name, and
It's
you
in
know
the
the name of that
document.
thread.
It's in the
Oh
document you sent
yes,
me. It says
it's in
Pamela
the
Swain.
document, but it's also in the thread on your website. So
Okay.
don't play dumb, sweetheart. If you're going to do this, if you're going to dig your heels in, and you know what? That's your right. Go right ahead. If Alan Dershowitz is going to try to fight for you for your freedom of speech to harass me, go right ahead.
Who is
But
Alan Dershowitz?
everybody that's involved in that's going to be disclosed. Everyone's going to be disclosed.
Alan
Everyone's
Dershowitz is an
going to have to
American
tell
lawyer.
people. Everybody's going to have to explain what's going on, and everybody's going to have to figure out why. Because this is attached to Harvey Weinstein, who frequented your website and created that thread to talk to me because he couldn't talk to me anywhere else. I had blocked him and removed any other contact with me. Do you know how many emails from him I've blocked that are Russian, that are Spanish, that are him pretending to be somebody else, some blasted moron celebrity? Do you know how many messages I got from Brad, what's his name, Cooper, or Jerry Butler, asking me to have sex with him? Quite a few up until 2018. So when he couldn't talk to me anymore, what did he do? He'd go to your website where it's all free, shot to hell privacy situation, set up a website so he could have me talk to him, then email me to start talking on that website. Okay, that's what's going to happen.
Why do you believe that Harvey Weinstein, who is like a famous person with lots of money, made a thread on my website?
Oh yeah, you're not gonna say anything. Well, I hate to tell you this. And that thread, number one, that thread, everything that's been disclosed on that thread from 2018 to now is admissible in court, number one. Number two, apparently you're not aware of Harvey Weinstein, Donald Trump Jr., and Tony Robbins' activity on your website, making threats.
Isn't Tony Robinson dead? Didn't he hang himself?
No.
Okay, so so Alan Dershowitz, who appears to be a constitutional attorney, Donald J. Trump Jr., Harvey Weinstein, and someone named Tony Robinson, or Tony Robbins, they've conspired together to make your forum thread.
Nope, I'm not saying they conspired, sweetheart. I'm saying they've outright made threats against me using your website as a vehicle to communicate with me.
Can you give me an example of what their accounts are on the website? Like who
on
is
the website? On the website, they have made multiple accounts, and they actually go in and out of different accounts to hide their identity. What they've done is they've put up posts and memes with their name in it. Mr. Robbins actually sent me his body part and used your thread to tell me that was him.
So is this a thing where they talk to each other, or they just individually want to talk to you?
Apparently, they want to contact me and talk to me and have the opportunity and access to me to make their, I guess, sex threats and sex propositions and stuff like that. And you know what the thing is that I've already shown all this to the judge. That's why this case hasn't been thrown out.
So why didn't the court issue a subpoena? Why did you have to make a fake one?
The court doesn't issue a subpoena. The person, the plaintiff or the defendant's case, attorney or pro se, issues the subpoena. If you want to look that up, you can.
I'm pretty sure you have to reach a certain point within the case before you can start issuing subpoenas.
No,
and you have to verify that with the court. You can't just issue subpoenas willy-nilly.
No, here's how it goes. The attorney for either the defendant or plaintiff asks for discovery, sends out a subpoena to the opposite side for disclosure of documents and
Yeah.
acknowledgement.
Well, your case has to
like
enter
that.
into subpoena
And
or
then
discovery first before
that
you can issue
evidence is
subpoenas.
looked over to make sure that before you go to the bench trial that's been set, that this is a proper situation where the people that are being accused and sued are correct.
Okay. And when you say Tony Robbins, you're referring to the self-help book person, Unlimited Power.
I can send. Look, I know your email address now is legal@kiwifarms.net. Would you like for me to send you to some of the posts that he's put up there with identifying himself and his body parts?
On the forum, sure. Go ahead.
Sure. I'm going to send you what he sent. Then I'm also going to send those funny little posts where he said he's going to rape me. I'll tell you what, I also send the ones from Facebook where he said he was going to send people in black cars to come kidnap me back in 2017.
Black cars?
Yes, he got blocked there, too. See, you understand, I've already got a 4 or 5 year history with these nut jobs. They came to your website because they had all the rules in the world to make sure they had an avenue to contact me or talk to me, because I had managed to go to Facebook and block them and turn them in. I've had gone to I've emails. I've blocked them. When they couldn't get me in English, they sent them to me in Russian, and when they couldn't get to me in Russian, they sent it to me in Spanish. And when they couldn't get to me as themselves, they started being celebrities. They started being Brad Cooper, Jerry Butler. They started being Michael Fassbender. Oh, dear God. Harvey created a whole second reality world with me and Michael Fassbender. In his mind, he and I have been married and had 4 or 5 kids, and that I stole him from Alicia Vikander. I've never met the dude. Never have met him. Never have met him.
So why do these rich and famous people covet you?
I have no fucking clue.
You don't. You have no idea.
Have just as good as ideas I do. I haven't met any of them.
Do you think there's something like special about you, or is it just for fun? Like, have they picked you out at random?
I'll tell you what. You ask them, get back with me. I'll put it in the lawsuit.
Well, I don't know who they are. Can you give me like an example of a username?
I'm asking you to find out if you can who they are, and if you can't, or at least restrict the extreme. See, I'm not going to even ask you to delete that thread anymore, because that stuff that is an ongoing investigation right there. The people a part of this legal situation have been watching that thread for the last 2 years. They didn't do anything because I had gone to the federal district because they thought of it's a federal situation. But Alan managed to get that thrown out without me even submitting any evidence.
So is Mossad helping with this, or is...
They're trying to figure out what exactly is freedom of speech, what exactly is threats, what is that exactly is harassment and slander, because somebody, and I'm presuming it's Alan Dershowitz, goes on there and accuses me of me being a sex offender and a child molester. I have never done anything like that before in my life, ever. He's talking about a situation, which is another reason why I was blocking Harvey Weinstein and Tony Robbins and all these idiots, is because somebody got a hold of some fake nudes and sent them to a child on Facebook. I had to contact Facebook to have them to remove it. So, I should have gone to the police.
Do you speak Russian?
They got a fake account. They had a fake account post fake nudes of me on Facebook. So, they did it. Now they want to accuse me of doing it? No, I have proof that I didn't do it. And they're mad at me. That's another reason why I've got the thread on Kiwi Farms, because every time they try something on Facebook, I block them. Why
don't you just ignore the thread on the forum?
Ignore the thread? How about I get naked pictures of you, or make fake pictures of you, and post them on Twitter?
You wouldn't be the first.
They would love that. They would love that. Tag Kiwi Farms. Oh, yeah. That would go viral very quick.
I mean, it's already been done. People do all sorts of stuff.
You want me to do that to you?
I mean, I'm not going to give you permission to. I'm just saying...
Okay, so you are giving me permission.
I'm not giving you permission to do anything. I'm just saying that it has been done before.
To do that to me either, okay? I didn't give them permission to do that to me either.
Okay. I mean, is this in the forum thread? You haven't sent me links to anything.
So if I send you links to the forum thread, show you posts of how they've threatened me, show you posts of where they've made international threats of Mossad, show you posts of where they've told me who they are, you're going to do something about it?
If there is a post of line crossing, credible, like, okay, having Mossad after you is not like a credible threat. That's not real. That's not like real life. But if
It
someone,
is if it's Alan Dershowitz.
Alan Dershowitz does not post on my website. I don't know who he is. He appears to be a lawyer.
I happen to know that he's probably helping you, keeping you in business.
I wish Alan Dershowitz was sending me lots of money.
He's freedom of speech for your website. He's already told me he does that.
How has he told you?
Through the thread. Look, if you don't understand it, you figure it out. You follow the thread for a while. You try to track these people, and you try to straighten this mess out. I'm quit. I've gone back to the judge. Okay? I'm quit. I'm not going to have somebody say they're going to either rape me or threaten to kill me and then wait for them to show up at my door. Okay? I'm not that stupid. I'm not an Instagram influencer looking to get strangled and shot and murdered. Okay? And I'm also not the type to sit back and let someone do that to me without me putting some injury on them as well. Okay? I'm not some weak little woman.
Don't you think that these people who have, like, billions of dollars could do whatever they want and they wouldn't have to telegraph it on a website in public?
I guess, but then apparently they all want to be cool little anti-establishment people like you. Don't look at me. I don't know why they go to your website. I didn't ask them to go make that thread. I don't know why they do the things they do. All I know is they've done them. And I have to stop that. I have to protect myself. And if I don't protect myself, I'm probably end up getting mocked for it. And if I accidentally actually got harmed or hurt or murdered, you'd probably put it on there and mocked me for not protecting myself. Isn't that what you did with Chris Chan? You're mocking him because he didn't protect himself from trolls who pretended to be his friends and they talked him into doing some bullshit. Do you know how easy it is for you to talk a high-functioning autistic person to doing stupid, horrible shit because he wants to be your friend? That's exactly what happened with Chris Chan.
I never talked Chris into doing anything. I don't know where that accusation comes from.
You may not have, but I can tell you right now, Tony Robbins would have. Harvey Weinstein would have. Pretending to be trolls? Yes, they would have. Told him he has to go and do certain things in order for him to get this, money or friendship. Have you ever worked with special needs people? Children like that will do anything for approval and friendship and love. They don't know that they have to love themselves to the point where they make sure they don't do anything to harm themselves. They don't know how not to do self-harm. They are very willing and compliant. And I'm pretty sure Chris Chan's mother has been doing the same thing to him for all his life.
Are you saying that you're a high-functioning autistic, or how does this relate?
No, I'm not high-functioning autistic, sweetheart. The only thing I have that I've ever had in my entire life was ADHD.
Have you ever been tested for schizophrenia?
No, I have not.
Have you considered it?
I'm not afraid that. No, I haven't. And that's another problem too. That thread that you're being used is used to slander me and my mental health, my IQ, my work abilities, and you slander every little thing that happens. Defamation, libel. I don't have schizophrenia. It is not a genetic component in our family. ADHD is. I have the documents to prove that. And let me make you something very clear here. Say I did have every personality disorder known to man, every mental health issue known to man. That still doesn't give you the right to harass me or put my personal identification online for someone to harm me.
Well, I would not want anyone to harass you, but
that's even more illegal than if you're just doing this for pussy.
For what?
Pussy.
You think that people are trying to convince you to have sex with them on the forum?
I've already got the first 2013 documentation where I was solicited by Harvey Weinstein for sex. So that's what this has all been about.
So how long have people been like harassing you online?
2013.
About 8 years. How old are you right now, if I can ask? General ballpark.
No, I'm not going to give you. I'm not going to give you any personal information
Are, are
over
you
the phone.
are you a little are you between 30 and 35?
No, I'm not going to tell you anything about my personal information.
Okay, because I'm asking because if 8 years ago you were early 20s, that would be about right for schizophrenia.
You're not a doctor.
Okay, and just in generally speaking, if you were
No,
early
see,
20s 8 years ago.
that's another problem. Alan Dershowitz is known for accusing people to have schizophrenia, especially the people that he's against in a lawsuit.
Okay.
That's a problem. That is another problem that you just addressed, which is another reason why I need you to disclose all the emails you've gotten with Alan Dershowitz, Tony Robbins, and Harvey Weinstein.
I have never been contacted by any of those people. I've never gotten
Well,
money from any of those people.
if you don't have anything, I'll just make a note that I asked you for it. However, in the future, you need to make a note that you can't accuse somebody of mental illness just because they refuse sexual advances. Number two, you can't facilitate a situation where somebody who is actually, and here's the thing, Harvey Weinstein was identified in other places as being a hacker and harasser and a sexual abuser before it came to your website. And he also told me that he and Donald Trump Jr. created that thread. So here's the problem: you're coming into something that's already been established. You're not. This isn't something that, oh my gosh, this started at Kiwi Farms. They put my private information. Delete the thread. No, sweetheart. These men were established before your thread started. Okay, they're just continuing their nonsense. They're actually harming themselves by identifying themselves on that thread, using that thread to contact me. And it's all very much admissible in court.
So you said that Harvey Weinstein in particular had set up a sort of alternate reality using people like Michael Fassbender, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if Harvey Weinstein is pretending to be Michael Fassbender, can't someone be pretending to be Harvey Weinstein?
No, that's how he works. Sweetheart, he's been doing this over 4 or 5 several social medias accounts. He in Instagram. I don't know if you ever know of the Discuss, but he used that. Facebook. They create fake accounts to contact women to solicit them.
How do you know that it's Harvey Weinstein then, in particular?
Unfortunately, he undisclosed itself. He said that he sent me a message saying that nobody can do anything to him, that he is in charge of all the police in the United States and United Kingdom.
He's in jail right now, so that doesn't make any sense.
Exactly, because I actually sent that message to somebody in the FBI back in the 2016 when he sent it to me.
So you're responsible for Harvey Weinstein being arrested?
I'm one of the people that's responsible to getting it started, because another thing is he basically said that he was in charge of all the police and the legal authorities and the FBI and all of them, and apparently somebody didn't like that, so they started investigating him, and then that led to all the people that he's raped and all that. And yes, and that's another reason why they're using that threads, because I currently have a lawsuit for damages from 2013 against Harvey Weinstein. He also sent me an email with his name on it, telling me that I wouldn't get justice and things like that, and basically bragging that I would never be able to get him to stop, to leave me alone, and that he was sorry for everything he's done, and that his daughters were upset about it. He sent me emails, personal emails, to solidify his involvement, and he does not want his money going out to these women. So Alan Dershowitz likes to go and hunt the women survivors down, and he likes to create, I don't know, I think I slander them and libel them, defame them, accuse them of crimes so they can't get the money that is owed to them in a lawsuit. That's what he did to Epstein's survivors. That is why that Virginia girl keeps suing Alan Dershowitz, is because he keeps finding ways to contact her in her personal life down there in Australia and tries to harm her personally, because he's trying to, I guess, get revenge on them for all the Epstein problems. And he has been identified as a hidden advisor, legal attorney, helping out Harvey Weinstein as well. So that's just public knowledge.
I'm still confused why you think it's these people and not perhaps someone impersonating them just to mess with you.
If somebody had messaged me saying that they were somebody else, like Regis Philbin, I would think it was Regis Philbin. These people have helped me out thinking it's them. I'm not for the first 3 or 4 years, I debunked everything with anyone. When I started getting texts from Brad Cooper, I never believed it. He texted me during Super Bowl 2018, and he was on TV with his girlfriend. And I'm sitting here getting texts from a guy from named Brad Cooper with Brad Cooper pictures saying, "Hey, I'm in love with you. I want to do this, this, this." And he's sitting there at the Super Bowl with his girlfriend. And I'm thinking, does this person know that he's on TV at the Super Bowl in Minneapolis? Obviously not. And the only problem is that with that text, Harvey didn't tell me it was him. Now, with another guy named Richard Grannon, about a year later, he Instagrammed me, told me he was in love with me, told me he wanted to marry me. This is after he'd been arrested. He said he wanted me to marry him, that he was Richard, and then he finally told me he was Harvey. Do you see a trend here?
I mean, it's sort of hard to follow. Like, for instance,
I've got the text for you to follow, and I've got the messages for you to follow. That's another problem. That's the difference between me and these other girls. I saved everything. I saved everything.
Well, like, for instance, when they send you messages in, like, Russian or Spanish, how do you even know that those are what those messages are?
At first I didn't, and that's what happened back in 2013. This whole thing started because I didn't know who was doing it. All I know is that a person impersonating another actor had messaged me on Facebook. I thought it was fake. And after 2 or 3 weeks of talking, we just stopped talking. No interest at all. Then about 2 weeks later, I got hacked in all of my emails. Hacked, all of them. Every single one hacked. I had Yahoo telling me, "I don't know what's going on with you, but you need to change all your passwords everywhere." I got my first identity stolen. That happened back in 2014 after I was talking to this fake person. Since then, it's just been one weird, retarded thing of trying to have this person who turns out to be Harvey Weinstein fits the profile that he was arrested with, trying to contact me and get me to meet him to have sex.
I mean, identity theft is pretty common. Couldn't it have been anyone, like some random guy in Nigeria?
I would be. You know what? If it was anybody else, if it was Pedro from Mexico City, I'd actually almost be happy about it. You understand? Harvey has shown a pattern of behavior of relentless harassment and ambivalence to being stopped for 8 years.
But if he's in jail now, shouldn't it be stopped?
I went to the judge about it 7 years ago myself for my situation. He told me to make sure not to go and meet them at all, because then it'd be my fault. Then he said, check up with the Georgia state law statutes of stalking and harassment. I did. I called their line. They said, save everything. So that's why, how come, since 2014, I've never met him, never entertained a thought to meeting him, never, and always saved every communication that he sent me. Now, up until 2015, when a lot of the nonsense started, is when he started telling me who he was. I guess he thought if I knew if it was Harvey Weinstein, I'd just be bowled over with such impressed that I would just drop everything and just go meet him and have sex. I didn't. I spent a year trying to make sure it was Harvey Weinstein, and then until I got another message from Harvey Weinstein saying it was Harvey Weinstein, and then telling me that he was going to come down here and kill me and my mother. Then that gets blocked. I put this into the authorities, not expecting anything else. Harvey just amps everything up, sends me more messages, tries to hack everything I've got in my entire life. I go to the authorities. He gets mad at every woman that he's ever abused. He goes after all the women with Alan Dershowitz and Tony Robbins. I don't know what it is with women they want. I don't know if they're lovers of rape. They belong to the Let's Rape Women Club. I don't know. I don't know I don't know why they can't let this go. I don't know why they can't stop. That's the problem.
But isn't Harvey Weinstein in jail? How is he still harassing you?
He's got lawyers. Now he's using his lawyers. And he's also got a tablet and a phone. He told me. He gets online through his phone, and he posts on your website.
I mean, I can believe that people are emailing you claiming to be Harvey Weinstein. That's pretty common in terms of like trolls on the internet. But I think it would benefit you to go to a doctor about possible delusions, because I don't think that these people are actually contacting you, and I don't understand why you're so convinced that they are.
I hate to debunk your I know you want to tell me I have some mental illness, and you know what? If I had been a dumb broad and not say anything about this, you could probably have a valid case for me being delusional. Hell, I probably would have already gone to a psychologist and asked him to tell me what my problem is. The problem, however, it's not with me. The problem is that there's people involved in using your website to contact me, who cannot regulate their own impulses.
Yeah, I would not want people to contact you offsite.
Because back in 2016, they actually sent somebody to my house. I had to call the sheriff to have this person kicked off. They were walking around in the backwoods of my house here in South Georgia, from Florida with Florida plates. Now, what else you don't know is that months later, he came back with a girl wanting me to take them to the Altamaha River, and the cops pulled them over right outside my house and took them both to jail. She had a whole bag full of drugs.
Yeah, they could have been smuggling drugs. That's possible.
No, they wanted me to take them somewhere out to an undisclosed location down by the river. Look, when somebody says they want to go down by the river, you don't go in the middle of the night, and that's when they were there. Okay, they came to my house asking me to give them a ride down to the river.
Yeah, they were probably doing something shady. I can believe that.
Oh, you think so? So that's actually affecting my personal life. So no, I'm not delusional.
But I mean, you're in the middle of like rural Georgia. That could just be like some crackheads from Florida. I mean, there are plenty of crackheads up in Florida.
Yeah, like crackheads from Florida decide to come all the way. If you knew,
sure,
where I lived, how back in the backwoods it is at night, there are no street lights.
I mean, it makes sense. You have like a road of pills. You have people in Florida collecting their prescriptions. They go up to Georgia, and the rural areas have the most pill problems, and then they smuggle the drugs up north. That happens. It doesn't have to be connected to Harvey Weinstein. That's a bit of a leap compared to just traditional smuggling.
I hate to look. You can sit here and fight for him all day long. He may be your personal hero. He's already identified himself. I haven't done anything. He's identified himself. And that's another reason why I don't want that thread deleted, because these idiots will get on your thread and will admit to anything that anyone accuses. They will admit to it. They have no shame. They don't think they're going to be held accountable.
But if you think, what's the worst thing that could? What's the worst possible outcome that could happen if you were tested for schizophrenia? Like, what's
I'm
the?
not going to go get tested for schizophrenia. You can go ahead and tell Alan Dershowitz that's not going to happen.
I don't know Alan Dershowitz. I'm just saying. Don't you think if it's
sorry,
possible? No,
No.
it's not possible.
No, it's not.
But why not?
I have 1 year of doctoral studies in psychology behind me.
I mean, it's very common for people with mental health issues to go into psychology. That's also a thing.
Oh, is that true?
That's very true.
Do you have their peer review article to go along with that?
Not offhand. I could find one, though.
Oh, not offhand. Oh, my gosh. How convenient. When you do find that peer review article, could you please put it on that website?
Sure, I will do that.
I would love to read that. And let me tell you something. No, I'm not going to go and get tested for schizophrenia.
Well, why not?
I'm going to show emails of where people have harassed me.
I'm sure that people have sent you terrible things via email. It's just that.
Yes, and just along with the false accusation of schizophrenia, they've also accused me of elder abuse.
I'm sure that they have. People send really nasty things anonymously via email.
No, they do they?
Yeah.
And that's my mental health problem. Other people's bad behavior and lack of impulse control and lack of mental faculties to be aware of what's legally okay to say to somebody and not okay to say to somebody is my mental health issue. Is that what you're saying?
It can exacerbate it. If you have an issue and then you have people fucking with you, it can make that issue worse.
No. Other people's mental health issues need to be addressed.
I agree with that.
You don't understand. Harvey Weinstein is a convicted rapist,
yes.
Ex-offender.
Yes.
The way he's treated me and other women fits his profile.
I just don't. I think it's a leap to say that this celebrity.
No, it's not a leap. I think you are trying your best to save your little pals who's helped you out with your website for the last 5 years.
Look,
even before I came along.
I'm not gonna lie. I wish I was getting checks from Harvey Weinstein. I could really use some money. I wish I could get a house right now, but I assure you, I'm not getting any checks from unknown places.
They funded you though. Every time you got into a legal snit with what you've downloaded and gotten involved with, I'm pretty sure they've helped get you out. I'm pretty sure they've helped pay for the all your little servers, and I'm pretty sure they've helped pay for legal issues and services whenever anybody's tried to hold you financially accountable. And look, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be honest with you. From my personal and professional opinion, when I look at that website, you do have a lot of weirdos that that I would probably make fun of myself. And I have looked at the thread with Melinda. What's his name?
Melinda Scott.
Yeah, she's batshit crazy. Yes.
I agree.
No, I don't. I'm not saying that you aren't at a place where you don't have the right to confront some types of behavior yourself. Do you see what I'm saying?
I mean, I'm sure I've been diagnosed with something. Yeah, I think a lot of people have.
I'm not saying that if Melinda, whoever this, I don't know anything about your history. I don't know who these little locales are. I do know that if some moron puts stupid shit up and they put it on the internet just for fun and they get mocked because it's retarded, that's on them. I totally agree with that. I mean, yes, that is a valid thing to have a website for. However, what's going on with me and Harvey? Harvey's already established that he's been after me sexually, okay? He's done this on other websites. He just used your website because everything else had been shut down from him, and he was trying to get me. He asked me to marry him because he didn't want me to testify against him. They were going to ask me as a witness. That was back in 2018. Then that website, your little thread showed up, so he could talk me out of it. Or slander me. Him and Alan Dershowitz used the whole thing to slander me, accuse me of. Did you know that he tried to accuse me of being an extraterrestrial alien? We're not dealing with smart people here, okay? He's batshit crazy himself, okay? He's got a pattern of behavior. I've got a paper trail of police reports. I've got a paper trail of his emails. Harvey hasn't denied it. Harvey's claimed it. Harvey has been trying to say that he and I were in a low-key relationship, and I refuse. That's one of the reasons why I put my foot down. I never, ever say that I'm friends or know Harvey Weinstein. I've never met any of these people. I've been instructed not to meet these people. I've been instructed to save all contact with these people. I have been instructed to do this years before you even came along.
I mean, if you go to the police and there's like help,
Yes.
I'm being stalked, they'll tell you save everything and don't reply to it.
Mm-hmm.
But
So?
the claim that it's Harvey Weinstein is the issue. You can't just say
He sent me an email.
If he sends you if he sends you an email from a random Yahoo account and says I'm Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah, that's what normal people do when they want to email somebody.
Well, you can't. The issue is
Donald
that
Trump Jr. texted me.
I mean, anyone I can get
Robbins texted me.
I can get a phone number in 30 seconds and say I'm whoever I want to you.
Yes, but if you keep doing it after 4 or 5 years, you're probably serious.
Do you respond to them?
No.
But you are on the forum talking. I see your account posting all the time. So don't you think that's a kind of validation?
Wait. Oh, you're talking about the forum.
Well, in general, don't you reply to these emails and talk to these people and reply to them on the forum and so on?
Yes.
Well, that's not like the police advice would be to ignore them and then to save what they send you.
No. Here's another problem. Is that whenever you let somebody repeat defamation against you, people will start to believe it.
But if you're going to contest that, it should be in court. It shouldn't be arguing with them
yes,
online.
That's exactly what we're trying to do.
But it's now 8 years past. You've been doing tug of war with these people for 8 years.
Well, actually, the problem is that even though when we get Harvey in jail, his friends that's been helping him continue to attack people. Alan Dershowitz continues to attack all of the people that Harvey's harassed, using your thread to do it for me.
Okay, consider this from an outside perspective. You get an email from a random person saying that he's Harvey Weinstein. And then once Harvey Weinstein's in jail, well, how do you continue to send emails pretending to be Harvey Weinstein? You either have to come up with a convoluted story or you move it on to his attorney. Yeah, but that's obvious to an outside person.
It means that I have to get a protective order against Harvey Weinstein and his lawyers.
But there's no evidence that this lawyer's actually sending you anything for you to. But from where? What's the email address?
I'm not going to tell you.
Chances are it's.
I don't have to disclose anything to you. I'm not trying to harass you, Josh.
I'm saying that you cannot prove that these people contact you.
I'm saying you cannot facilitate a situation where a criminal can continue to harass a survivor or victim.
But if you don't have evidence that these people are contacting you, you cannot get what you want.
You have a website where people can anonymously harass me, and I have a legitimate concern as to my safety from it because it's a convict. Also, I saved all those documentations where they said they were going to come after me, and they've also mentioned some politicians that they've tried to harass.
But if there's no evidence it's them, nothing can be done about it.
I have the messages.
At most, what you can.
And back in 2017 on Facebook, Tony Robbins sent me his picture.
It could just be a random penis. Is that what it is? Does it have his face in it?
He sent his face picture. Look, Josh, he sent a picture of his face.
That doesn't prove that he's emailing you.
It's his face, you tard.
I can go online and Google this man and get a bunch of pictures of his face.
Then he gets on your website and sends me his information. Then he texts me that he's actually admitting to be helping Harvey, admitting to and that he wants that thread back up. Tony Tony Robbins can do that?
I mean, Tony
And
Robbins could do that, but so could anybody.
he did that. As a matter of fact, one of the texts I do have from Tony Robbins about a year ago is that I understand where you're coming from, Pam, but we're not deleting that thread. Harvey won't let us.
Do you know what an internet troll is?
Do you know what harassment is?
Yes, and trolling can be harassment.
Okay, I'll tell you this, and that's another reason why I sent the subpoena. That's another reason why I sent the subpoena.
But it's not a real subpoena. You're not in discovery.
I need to know for sure if it's Harvey and Tony doing this, because if it's somebody else, if there's some Lone Ranger moron out there who's just got the hots for me, I need to find out who it is. Because I don't need somebody calling up places where I work to get me fired.
No, that's very mean. I would not want people to do that to you either.
And I don't need people sending drug addicts to my house trying to kill me out down by the river. I also don't need somebody calling my mom on crank calls on her phone after they've mined her phone number that we keep hidden. I also don't need somebody posting, sending me nude pics while I'm at work with my name and a little picture on their schlong and marbles. Okay? I don't need that either. I also don't need people putting fake nudes of me on Facebook and then calling me the pedophile.
No, that's all very mean.
Oh, it is mean. It's also illegal.
Yes, it can be illegal.
It is illegal. And if it's Harvey and Harvey's in jail, who else could it be? His lawyers. Alan Dershowitz.
It could be literally anybody.
A friend of his who's involved, Tony Robbins, who's sent me a picture of himself, has identified himself several times. These are two men that have repeatedly contacted me and identified themselves. Don't ask me where the text messages from Donald Trump Jr. came from. I don't know. I don't know why he got involved. When you personally contact somebody and you identify yourself, you have to answer for it. That's the whole reason why I'm looking for proof that it's possibly somebody else. But I don't think it is. I really actually, honest to God, think it's these men who are funding you and your website, keeping you out of trouble, and you're just giving them an opportunity to keep in contact with me in hopes that I break down and meet up with them.
Well, if Alan Dershowitz wants to cut me a check, I'm completely open to it. But so far, none of these people have cut me any checks.
Oh, well.
What?
I don't know what to do with that, but that's fine.
What about my theory? What if it is random people online and you are suffering from some sort of schizotypal disorder that needs to be addressed?
What's the disorder?
In any sort of delusional disorder that could be that could potentially be helped with medication.
Let's a list of what they've accused me. Okay, all right.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Over the last 6 years, what disorders does Pam have? Oh, the famous one is schizophrenia, which is definitely Alan Dershowitz's first go-to one. He accused everybody of. That's schizophrenia. There's narcissist personality disorder, where, and that is when the dumb tard of Harvey Weinstein got all these YouTube morons to promote narcissist personality disorder. Obviously, all of his accusers have narcissism because they think all about themselves when they're getting raped. Antisocial personality disorder, because I like to stay at my house and not go out and do stupid shit. Let's see, what else? Erotomania. Oh, yeah. I'm just chasing all these celebrities down. I know. Look at me. Oh, my gosh. One of them, please fuck me. Oh, my God. Erotomania. Never met up with anybody, but, yeah, that's a diagnosis, isn't it, though? All right. What else have I been accused of? Nope. Not obsessive compulsive. Nope. No. That's hasn't come up yet. Maybe that'll come up soon. Everything else, except for the ADHD that I actually do have a diagnosis for. But go figure. Medical documents don't mean anything anymore at Kiwi Farms.
Well, I mean, you haven't been checked in a while for anything, though.
I've actually been to the doctor for the last 2 years for health, physical issues, metabolic issues, and ulcers. Do you
Did
know what?
you mention Harvey
Ulcers,
Weinstein to them, the
yeah.
doctors?
Now, here's another thing. Ulcers are a feature of anxiety and of stress, which is another problem. That all this stuff is called stress and anxiety. It's degraded my health.
Did you mention to the doctor what the source of your anxiety is?
It's outside harassment.
Okay, did you mention who and how?
I don't have to tell them the details about what's causing the stress and anxiety. I just needed help to deal with it.
Because you think that if you told the doctor what was happening, he would refer you to a psychologist for a psychiatric exam.
I've actually already talked to a counselor several years for a while. So no, I have to. I'm making sure that I'm mentally sound and okay.
But when you did that, did you talk about Harvey Weinstein?
I'm going to tell you right now. The people who I've contacted as the judge, they know who I am. Okay. They know who I am. They know my mental abilities. Okay?
Yeah, which is why these lawsuits don't go very far. You're not going to make it to discovery to send subpoenas to me.
Why is it going far now?
How has it gone far? He's accepted it. He put it on a docket. He might review it and throw it out sua sponte any second. You didn't make it to discovery to send subpoenas with. It's not going anywhere.
How do you know?
Because this is not a real subpoena, and if it was, you probably had made it to a discovery.
I'm in contact with an assistant from the clerk's office, and they took the letter that I sent them about a week ago about how I just want all the avenues of harassment to cease, and that I didn't want any serious drama from this, and that this has been an ongoing situation that the judge is aware of, and that if we can resolve this in a nice adult manner, that would be great. Now, if I had schizophrenia, I wouldn't be able to do all that, or I wouldn't be able to articulate that, would I?
Why not?
I'm sorry, I don't have schizophrenia. You're not going to sit there and try to push that on me.
There are people with schizophrenia who can be very coherent. It waxes and wanes.
Oh, well, then you need to go. I'll ask them to make sure that Harvey Weinstein doesn't have schizophrenia.
That doesn't make any sense. The issue is that you think that there has been a coordinated attack from very rich and famous people.
No. You are trying to formulate a hypothesis where all the burden of problems is on the person being harassed. You're not addressing the behavior of the other person who's doing it. People who harass people online, who are trolls, have an underlying mental health issue.
Yes, those people can be a part of the dark triad, and that's very mean if people are sending you emails like that. That's very mean.
And even if, let me tell you something, even if I was the worst, most psychologically hampered person that you've ever met, still illegal for anybody from who using any kind of media or avenue to harass somebody with them. That's even worse illegal.
Yeah, if someone is mentally ill and they're exacerbating those.
You're not making sense yourself. You don't have any idea of the law. You are talking just like Alan Dershowitz, who thinks the law is made for him.
Alan Dershowitz is a lawyer, though. I'm not.
That he has freedom of speech and nobody else does. That's the kind of constitutional lawyer he is. Everybody else doesn't have freedom. He has the freedom. He can do whatever he wants to anybody. Same thing with Harvey. Same thing with Tony. They have money. The law was made for them to protect them from being harassed. However, there is no law to protect other people from them who they harass. That's not right. And I don't know who the fuck you think you are, but you are not going to sit there and formulate a defense when there's legal measures in place for people who are mentally ill to be protected from people like you.
But if you are being exploited and you're claiming you're not mentally ill, don't you think that you should try and get that diagnosis to get that protection?
I'm not going to go get a diagnosis to further my cause when it's not true. See, that's the problem.
But you don't know if it's true or not. You're not a doctor and you can't self-diagnose.
That is not true. That's coming from a bullshit liar who obviously doesn't know anything about psychology and psychological issues, labeling every person that's in a lawsuit against him with schizophrenia. That's not going to fly.
I don't know. I know barely nothing about you. I've only my only experience with you is this call, and I can tell that you have delusions, and you need to talk to someone.
There is no delusions here. I don't have any delusions about how I want to be left alone.
Okay, that's fair, but don't you think, what's the worst case scenario that could happen if you go to a doctor?
No, I'm not. I've already been to doctors.
I mean, like,
I can get a letter right now from 2 people saying that I'm mentally sound and full of my faculties.
But you haven't told them about the things that you experience.
I don't have to disclose to you what I've told.
You don't have to disclose to me anything. But you just told me that.
Right there. You're trying to tell me to tell you if I've told doctors about my physical and mental health. I can't disclose that with you. That's another U.S. federal law that you're
just did, though.
over.
You just told me that you did not disclose what was happening to you with the doctor who would have referred to you.
I don't have to disclose to you what happened to
it would benefit you to.
Are you not understanding me?
It would benefit you to be honest with your doctor.
No, I'm not going to tell him anything. I'm not Chris Chan, you tard. There's legal issues here. I don't have to share personal information with you.
You don't have to share anything with me, but you should be honest with your doctor.
I tell you what I've told them. I don't have to tell you anything. This is just a perfect example of the bullshit mindset that comes from assholes off your website. You don't think the law, you're not subject to any of the law. You think you can go run roughshod over anybody else and their personal information. My God.
Okay. Well, I have to go.
My God. I mean, seriously.
I have to go, but I would strongly suggest being honest with your doctors. It can only help you.
Suggest you go download the state of Georgia law code, and you download the federal law code. Look up HIPAA and look up all this information.
I'm not asking you to tell me anything. I'm just saying you should be honest with your doctors.
About protecting privacy, and that's going to come back to haunt you.
Okay. Well, it's been a pleasure, Pamela.
Mm-hmm. All right. Bye.
Bye. Bye. That was interesting. I'll upload that to the podcast as a special. I got this letter, and I thought the phone number was the Clerk of Court, and I wanted to call them and just be like, is this like a real thing? Do I have to care about this? And then I call up, and I just get like an old lady like, hello? I'm like, is this the Clerk of Court? And she's like, no, one sec. And then I'm thinking, like, what the fuck is this? Is this just like a random phone number she added to this document? And then I just hear in the background, Pamela. I'm like, oh no, this is her phone number. So then she starts talking like, okay, I should broadcast this or record it or something. This is funny. So yeah. Hello chat. Hello my fans. Hello. Happy Thursday. I didn't intend to stream today. Just kind of impromptu. Stream tomorrow, and merchandise should be shipped on Monday, and I think that's it. Bye-bye.